Woke up tired, still I gotta get it. Same routine, but I'm staying committed.
About your weekend?
Oh man,
What was about the golf that I saw the chatter going across.
yeah. Well, Friday was the guys and we had a golf. We played golf on Friday.
How'd you get into golf? I'm gonna ask that question. I don't even know how you got into golf. How
So-
did that start?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So some things are natural, other things are not. One thing that came natural to me was fishing. I do a lot of fishing now, kayak fishing, wade fishing, whatever. But the golfing was not so much a thing that was part of my life that were a natural interest. It was my ex-father-in-law. Man, that guy was gold, bro. That guy, he was able to instill in me a lot of good things. And one thing he introduced me to was golf. And so, he would take me out on outings. And, for a very long time, we played for quite a few years, man. And I just never was really that good at it until here recent,
Yeah.
And so now we're like 30 years into it. And now I'm kind of okay, but, most people might question that and say, I don't think so.
Well, there's only one person I know would say something like that.
Eddie. Yeah. So we, I played golf, drank some beer, had a good time, and then after golf on Friday, I went out to a place and drank a couple more beers, had something to eat, and then Saturday was, working at the house, and my nephew, hey, Theo, come on over. Theo is Spanish for uncle. Come on over. I got some beer and steaks. Man, he makes the best steaks ever.
Is this your like one of your sister's kids?
Yeah. So my second oldest sister, her son Justin, and so my nephew and niece, his wife, invited me over, and so I went over, and I'm still trying to recover from the day before on Friday, So, but I went anyway. But before I went to Eddie's house on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I told him I would help him out, and he's doing some underground stuff. So I helped him. He had that ditch witch, so there's not a whole bunch of physical work to do, but helped him anyway. I was there for about maybe 2 hours. Went home, worked on some stuff, took a shower, and went to my nephew's house and niece's house, and drank some beer, ate some food, and next day, Sunday, here we are.
So you got
talking to Jeremy.
You got good friends and family close by.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, man.
And you're living a single life.
I'm living a single life, and I like the single life.
How long you been living a single life?
Since I've been divorced.
That's a long time.
Yeah, well, 2011. That's 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I prefer it that way. Doesn't mean I don't have lady friends, so let's not get confused. Right? So anyway, but yeah, commitments. That's not my thing. Only because in my mind, and in fact, I shouldn't be saying this, but I do say it, and I say it to a lot of young guys: don't get married.
Yeah.
But we still need kids in our nation, so yeah, get married, have kids, be prosperous.
When you, if you were to meet someone, how does that usually go? Is it friends of friends, or or do you ever date it online? Try to online date?
Online dating is not a thing for me.
Oh my!
Number one,
I hate it.
Yeah,
I hate it.
It's too many fake profiles, right? And I've never even tried it. It's just part of what I do, just for as well as you, Jeremy. You meet a lot of people, a lot of times, and man, I'm not the greatest looking guy in the world, but I'm not the ugliest either, right? And there's something to be said about a man who minds his business and is working on things, and there's an attraction there.
Yeah,
a lot of people are attracted to that.
I want to know what baffles me a lot is there's so many good guys out there that work, have their own place, have their own, independence, and such good guys, but yet it seems like they always get passed over for the bad boy.
They do. No, you're spot on. That is the thing.
I see. I don't know. I just shake my head at things I see between like relationships, or I see people out and I'm like, what? Or I ask the question like, what am I doing wrong? Or maybe it's just not my time to meet that person.
Or maybe you're looking in the wrong place. Bro.
Probably looking in the wrong place. Probably looking in the wrong place.
You know, in my opinion, man, the most meaningful relationships are more organic.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Well, it means that you're not on a dating website.
Yeah.
You know, because so you get a lot of opportunities, and so do I. So anyway, there's a lot of women, man, that are just, and unfortunately, man, I'll tell you this: there's a lot of married women, man, that are looking for relationships.
Yeah, that's not good.
No, that's not a thing for me.
No.
That's a no go. So anyway, in fact, here recent, man, it was that's once I found that out, man, it's just that's not even a thing that no more talking actually.
Yeah.
Unless it's just very, hey, hi, that type thing. But otherwise, no, that's not a thing for me, and it shouldn't be a thing for, in my opinion, for any man who's a man. I mean, and that's somebody else's wife, you know. And that's a no go.
I got a question for you. Have you ran into someone in your past that maybe you didn't know that would be someone you would have a relationship with?
No, I don't think so, man, because, so my ex-wife and I started dating, man, back in high school.
Yeah.
So I knew her for a very long time. And so the girlfriends that came before her were more adolescent, teenage years, not serious, not real good talking where you really get to know somebody. It was just more physical. You know how you are when you're a teenage boy, man. So no, the answer is no. I mean, and every woman I've met after that is not, because the way I think, marriage is not an option for me. And
is that something you tell yourself, or it's just
inherent? It's just a thing, dude. I don't have to think twice about it.
Yeah.
You know, but if I did think about it, it'd be like, the thought process would be something like, well, you know, she's probably going to break my heart. It'd be something like that. Well, she's probably going to do this. Well, I mean, my 401k would go to her.
I think the same thing. I do.
Oh, there you go.
I do. I have the same thoughts.
So all my money, I wanted to go to my son.
My thing is too this, like, I'm getting up in age as well, and I'm like, if that person ever does, you know, come along, then that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like, I'm not going to be the person to keep searching. If I happen upon someone, this is going to be it. This is no more after this. This is got to work. If it doesn't work, then I'm like, no more. I've been married once, but I feel like I have room to try at least one more time, is what I'm saying.
That's a very good point, man, because, I'll tell you this, dude, that to close yourself off and to say, no more for me, like, that's my position.
Right.
That's actually not a good position.
Right.
You know, that's coming from a position, a defensive position, and it doesn't allow your heart, your mind, and yourself to be, number one, open with people.
Yeah.
Right? And to share your heart. And so instead, what that looks like is you're very defensive. And I don't mean like in a rude kind of way, but you're very protective of sharing information.
Yeah.
And so that's actually not a good thing, bro.
Yeah.
And so if you can gather your strength and say, yeah, despite what has happened, I'm going to continue to look. And, well, maybe not look, but just continue to receive whatever comes my way.
You know, that's
a better position.
The way
excuse me.
It's because I feel like I want to share a life with someone. I have my kids, and I do want to share a life with my kids, but it's separate when you have, you know, a relationship with someone.
Oh yeah.
I do want to share that with someone, but like I said, it has to be. This is going to be it. If I'm going to be in a relationship, this is going to be it. I'm not the type of guy. I don't just date to be dating. I don't be going out and meeting people just to be meeting people. Yeah. Although you do have to kind of have that to kind of build a rapport. If it's kind of going to work. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if it's in the cards for me or not. I don't know. I've tried. And I'll tell you recently. Recently, I've gone and tried to talk to women and just been like shut down and denied, and it's demoralizing.
Well, brother, if you're going to Austin on 6th Street, you're not going to find a future right there. So look, I
don't know.
It depends on where you're going.
I don't know.
Do you really want that party girl? I mean, look. So for me, if you're trying to, not that you're trying, but
right.
The better woman or the better situation would be, going to church, man, and you just start talking to people. I don't think it's ever good just to dive all in and share your heart and but keeping in mind that this advice is coming from somebody who doesn't. I'm not that dude. You know what I mean? But if I were that guy, and if I were more open, it would be going to the church. Not that that woman is less sinful than the other, or I'm not trying to make that correlation.
I got you.
Or that connection. But at least a woman who goes to church, man, in my mind, is at least focused on something other than herself. Otherwise, you wouldn't be going.
Yeah.
So that to me is a good quality, good characteristic to have. And for me, I don't know about you. When you say the one, what does the one look like?
Yeah, I'm just saying for me, whoever I meet and whoever what I'm saying is the next relationship. I'm talking about you get past the initial dating and you get past knowing each other really well. For me, once you get past all that, I want to make a commitment to just that one person. Yeah. Like, I don't want to go out and be like, all right, let me date this person and see how it goes. Let me go date this person and how it goes. And like, no, it's like, if I want to make an effort towards someone, I want it to just be, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds to me like you're being selective, and you should be. Yeah. And you should be looking for character traits in a woman that makes sense to you.
I mean, I could have met my future wife at 6th Street. I don't know. It could have happened.
It, bro. I doubt it. No need to go back next week.
No need to go back.
No.
I don't. Not 6th Street.
Yeah. To talk about marriage, what does it take? I mean, I had a failed marriage, man. In fact, most marriages, 50% of marriages, man, they fail. And I think that there's a lot of good self-help stuff out there, and one of the best, in my opinion, is, and I'm not gonna do this justice, but I forget the author's name, but the book is something like The 5 Love Languages, or is it 7? And there you go. So anyway, a lot of times, Jeremy, and it's important for me to share this with my son, that the love that he shows his wife has to be a love that she understands as love. So, for instance, if he's over there and he's trying to buy her gifts, because that is one of the love languages, to give gifts. Yeah. And he's giving her gifts all the time, and maybe she's not reciprocating or he's not getting the results that he thinks that he should be getting by giving the gifts. But she's built not for gifts, but she needs to be talked to. Her love language is a different kind of love language. Then you're spinning your wheels. Right. And so for me, I bought the book. I'm going to give it to my son, but we've talked about it. It's important that you talk to somebody on the level that they understand. I mean, brother, if you go talk to a customer and you're talking about, our programming and, if, then, this, that, and you're talking this language and they're looking at you, nodding their head, a lot of times they really don't know what you're talking about. And so it is with relationships. I've learned a lot of things since my divorce. And one of them is how to talk to people, to the woman, right? Because women and men are built differently. There's no denying that. And women are more nurturing. That's just the way it is. Yeah. And men are more analytical. The woman's telling you a problem and you already got the solution. in your head. But if you tell her, man, you're hosed. You're hosed if you tell her that, because she doesn't want a solution. She wants to know that you're listening to her. Yeah. Hey, just listen to me. I got the answer for you. And she doesn't want to hear that, man. In fact, she'll tell you after you've told her the solution. You're not listening to me, Jeremy. That's what that looks like, man. So we got to know how to talk to people, and that's important for me, especially young people, man. I think all young people, man, before they get married, should know that there's different languages.
Well, we was talking about.
We take it back to the 1940s, man.
Bro, I would love to go
where we
back.
didn't have social media, man.
I was talking to a friend this past weekend, and that's exactly what I said. And I was like, we were, seeing all these older buildings, these historic buildings. And I was like, I would love to go back during this time, before the social media, and live in this time, when the first Model T and all that stuff was going on. Honestly, I would go back and live during that time. I think it'd be pretty cool.
If you lived in that time, you wouldn't know nothing about this time.
Exactly.
So you'd be totally happy, right? But I don't know that I could go back to the 1940s living in this time. No, I don't think I'd be good with that.
No.
I need my internet, man.
Yeah.
I need my Claude AI, man.
Yeah. But talking about that, we was talking about that earlier, and I didn't really know anything about Claude AI. I mean, I think I may have heard something about it. But you're into programming microchips, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you call that a hobby?
Yeah. Yeah. So, just the way I'm built, and so that kind of thing interests me. So sitting on the pot reading manuals, that is, that's normal for me, bro. I've been doing micro controllers and microelectronics, man, for over 10 years. And the crazy thing is that my oldest son was telling me about ChatGPT and how it can write the code that you need in such an efficient and effective manner. And he was right. So, I believe me when I tell you, man, that I've spent months and just banging my head and just, trying to get the answers for, programming a microcontroller to do a certain thing. Excuse me. And come to find out, ChatGPT, type in there what you want. Hey, I got an Atmega 328 microchip. I want to put a couple of buttons on there, and it's got an LCD display. I want to be able to navigate through a menu, and that took me many months to do. And even then, it's every now and again it'd be kind of buggy because of the debouncing of the button. But ChatGPT, bam, 30 seconds, man. Download that program, the one I created, into the microcontroller, and sure enough, it does exactly what I wanted it to do. AI, Claude AI is a competitor to ChatGPT, kind of like the way Gronk is and all these other different AI platforms. But in my opinion, Claude AI is the way to go, because it not only gives you the code that you want, but it gives you the schematics and one-line diagrams that if you ask it, will give it to you. Whereas ChatGPT has a hard time trying to parse that same information. So the Claude AI not only does that really well, but it also gives you like a bill of materials, the bomb. Give me a bill of materials, Claude, and bam, it'll give everything we just discussed. Here it is. Here's the information that you want. Order this from Amazon. Here's the part number, that kind of thing. So, Jeremy, I think, like the way you and I were talking earlier, man, I think that, we're in for a heavy dose of unemployment, man, real soon.
Yeah.
Because if your job is computer-based, right, you're on a laptop doing it, nobody does it better than AI.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. So I paid $20 a month for my subscription to Claude AI, and that thing is freaking marvelous. That thing writes all my code, and I download it to microchips. All I have to do is just the wiring. Not only that, but it also, artificial intelligence has made its way into 3D models like Fusion 360, which is what I play with. So I build the thing electronically, and then I make the thing that it fits into, and that's a 3D program. That's made its way into Fusion 360. And that iteration of new firmware was just, a month ago, maybe.
Yeah.
And I noticed that last time I was working on this, so I could tell Fusion 360 create this, and it creates this. So as these jobs go away, I think that what's going to end up happening is that jobs like yours and I, where you have to be boots on the ground. You got tools in your pocket, and you're trying to troubleshoot some things. That's not going to be gone or taken away for another, I don't know, few years. I don't know. But the immediate thing that's going to happen is if you're writing code, if you went to school for, computer science, if you went to school or you're currently a coder writing C program, C++, Java, whatever it is, those jobs are gone, man. They're gone. And so when those jobs officially go, because if you're an employer, you want to hire somebody to write code, right? And you got this person you got to deal with that has human issues. I got sick, my kid's sick, whatever. So you have that. Or I can hire Claude AI for $20 a month. That's a no-brainer. So that's coming soon. In my opinion, I think what's going to end up happening, those people who are losing those jobs are going to go to the jobs where there's still jobs. Those are jobs like yours and I and Eddie, where you have to have screwdrivers and meters and instrumentation and that kind of thing. But eventually, robotics and AI are going to eventually take over that physical space too. But it's just not going to be recent or soon. So I think we're going to have an influx of people applying at our companies and saying, "Hey, I need a job."
Or like trades and stuff,
Trades, any trade, whether you're the plumber, any job that is you have to be in front of something to do something.
Yeah.
That I think you're going to be safe for a little bit, but not for a very long time. Have you seen the new robots, man?
I was going to ask that, and I also was going to say that there's no coincidence that all these data centers are being built. I mean, these huge data centers are being built. That's not a coincidence.
No, and they're all over the place,
Yeah.
man. We've always had the parts, the robot parts.
Right.
That was always there. It's been there for 20 years. What we were lacking was the intelligence to run the robotics, and now we got that, right? And so all these sites are going up. AI sites, all these servers. I mean, thousands of them, rack servers and whatever, and they're taking up a lot of power. I don't know about the water. I don't get the water situation.
Yeah, I heard something about that as well. It takes a lot of water. Obviously, we deal in water to be able to cool these systems and all that stuff. But apparently, I was talking to Dawson about that because Dawson is kind of in that industry as well, and he said that it takes a lot of water to feed these centers, these data centers, and it draws away from the town or whatnot.
Well, I mean, if it's a traditional cooling system, then you have the evaporator side of things, the chillers and whatever. That's a closed loop.
That's what I told him.
So you have to fill the water, and it's a closed loop, so water doesn't escape. So that's not a thing that's being utilized.
And that's exactly what you're saying to me is exactly what I said to him. He's like, yeah, it is. You're right. He said, but it still takes a lot of water.
But that's no different than building a hospital.
Yeah.
You build a new hospital, a building, then you're putting in the same mechanical stuff. You still got the same closed loop. You still got the same pumps. So, in my mind, that's a wash.
It's something you probably definitely need to look into and see where are we getting different information, or where are we right or where are we wrong at? Because if, like I said, Dawson is in that water side of it, and we're on the cooling side of it, kind of like see where it's at.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. I don't think that the media is shooting us straight.
No,
that's number one. So when they say trillions of gallons I doubt that's true. Yeah. Because really, if you have a cooling system, then how much more piping does it take to run piping to the rack servers to cool them down? It's the same system.
Yeah.
So really, if you're going to lose any water and you're going to make up water, it's on the condenser water side. That is a open loop. And this is even assuming that you're using water-cooled systems. Yeah. If you're using DX, forget about all that.
Exactly.
But if you have an open loop for the condenser and your water is coming over the top of the cooling tower and through evaporation, you're losing water and you're extracting the heat, then there's that. Yeah. But that's no different than a standard cooling system that you go downtown and it's the same thing. Right. yeah, you're going to lose some water, but to the extent of $1 billion, I don't know.
I'm with you on the same. I'm with you on that. I don't understand it either, and maybe shame on me for not diving into it and trying to figure out exactly why that is being said.
Uh-huh.
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100% on that.
Now, it's, the power side of things, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Because a data center is going to consume much more power than a traditional, like a hospital or whatever.
Yeah.
And some might make even the argument that, well, even if you go further back and go to the coal-fired power plant, then yeah, you're using water in some kind of way that might be more than traditional hospital. But that's even further back and not so much in front of you.
Yeah. I don't get it either.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about a little bit about the robots that they're incorporating. How far are we from people having their own robot to do?
Oh man,
clean?
you have no idea about this space.
No.
Do you?
No, really.
Okay, well, I can just tell you this, man. That in Japan they made this robot woman. Man, she's actually very attractive. So, but really cool, man, and a lot of programming behind her. And they made her lips like talk, and it looks like almost like a real woman. Obviously, you can tell that it's a robot. But if you had maybe too many beers to drink one day, you might call her honey. You know what's going on, honey? But
did you see those on YouTube or something? Like, where'd you see that?
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah. And so if you go in there and type in robots or whatever, then and I've always been curious about Boston Robotics.
Yeah.
And so Boston Robotics, I've been following them for about 15 years, and they have really complicated systems. They got they really as best I can tell anyway, they really do well with war robots, if you want to call them that.
Oh, shit.
Like for instance, they have this a dog-like four-legged robot that'll haul stuff that normally like an infantry. You used to be in the Army, right, Jim?
Yeah.
So you would carry all your stuff. Well, this thing, man, carries all your stuff for you.
No.
It's essentially an 18-wheeler on four legs, and so this thing can crawl around and you can push it and it knows how to balance itself and whatever. Anyway, all that to say that it wouldn't be far-fetched to think that you could create a robot that could do some plumbing, for instance,
right,
and cut some pipe and whatever, especially when you consider what we already spoke about, in that AI currently doesn't have the super intelligence. And once again, super intelligence is defined as being smarter than the smartest human. We're not quite there, or they are not quite there. I don't know if I said we're not quite there. But anyway, but once that happens, then the idea is that you and I were talking about iPhones. iPhones are new iterations of firmware and new updated camera, for instance. 6 months, and then 6 months later, a new camera comes out, or a new iPhone, the 18 or whatever. Well, with AI, what's going to end up happening most likely is that AI will get so smart that it knows how to build upon itself.
Yeah.
And so if Gronk or Grok, whatever it's called, and ChatGPT and Claude AI are releasing new versions of their AI models every 3 months, then at some point the intelligence will get so much and so advanced that instead of 3 months, it's 2 months.
Right.
And then 1 month.
Yep.
And then 1 week. And then if you as a human are trying to keep up with all these updates, it's impossible. You and I have a hard time keeping up with Delta's, revisions, right? And they come out once a year.
Right.
Hey, this year we did this, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, we went from different versions. We did 3 versions in the same year.
Exactly. So it's the same idea that you would have so many versions, new revisions, new iterations of software that you could not keep up. And then so 1 week turns into 1 day, and then it should be able to do new revisions every day. And in fact, dude, I think that AI is going to get so up there with intelligence and effectiveness and efficiency that any, and this is just me saying this, I don't know, maybe I'm just smoking crack, man, but I think that all, what are they, intellectual property? Like when you have an idea and then you patent that idea. Let's say you came up with a cure for cancer, and now you have this intellectual property.
Yeah.
Well, you can patent that.
Yeah.
I think going forward, real soon, man, all intellectual patents, they're going to come from AI. They won't be coming from you and I, and well, not you and I. We're a bad example. we're drinking Miller Lite, man, on a podcast, man. So, but
this might be pretty cool. Ideas might come from this, though.
Hey, something will come out of it for sure, man. But the intellectual property and those kinds of patents and whatever, I don't think that's a human thing anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that doom and gloom guy, man, but it makes sense to me that if artificial intelligence can write code so much smoother than I, and being efficient and effective and without error, and if there is an error, it was probably because of the way I inputted the data and I told it to do something, and they can make corrections on the fly, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good thing I would say about right now in today's world is that if you're that guy who's a tinkerer and you like building shit, and you're that guy that wants to always have this idea, now is the time. Because if your idea included some kind of electronics, you can simply ask Claude AI, I got this, just as simple as this, bro. You don't need to be the technical guy.
Right.
You just need to know what to ask Claude AI.
Right.
And so you say, hey, man, I got this idea, and I want to build this solar panel thing for my house, and so that way I want to live off the grid. It'll start to ask you questions, man.
You don't need to be, the programmer, or you don't need to be like even scientifically inclined. Honestly, if you have a good idea and you know how to use AI, you can pretty much build something, right? Is that what you're saying? So and with that being said, would you say that having AI would benefit some, third world countries, and if someone has a great idea to help them, do whatever it is that they need to do, to like advance them in their life or advance their civilization? Would you say it's a good thing to have AI?
Well, I would just say this, that because I think that the ultimate end of AI, is that people are going to lose their jobs and there's going to be mass unemployment. I would say that when ChatGPT first released their version of AI, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought it was, man, this is super cool.
I use ChatGPT too.
We all use it.
Yeah.
We all use it. Writing emails. I mean, I think we're getting dumber with AI. It's what it is. Because you know that if you don't need to know how to write program, and you can just essentially ask somebody, in this case you're asking a computer or a model how to do something. And so you don't need to learn how to program, and you don't need to learn how to model, and you don't need to learn how to write proper. Doesn't that make you dumber?
Yeah, I would say some aspect, yeah, it does. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but yeah, I would say in some aspect, yes. However, I would also say if you know how to use it and you're using it to learn more and to study and to learn, then I would say it's a good thing. For me, and this is me, it's 50-50. I do agree with you at some level, yes. But then at the other levels, you can learn from it if you can retain the information.
Yeah, sure. And I'll tell you this, that to your point, you know who the best teacher of C programming is? Claude AI. You know how I know, man. I play with this stuff. So here's my point. So one day when I'm messing around with ChatGPT, actually, because initially I had ChatGPT. I paid for the Pro version, and then it wasn't until recent, actually about a month ago, that I switched over to Claude. And the reason is because I already told you, it knows how to do schematics, one lines. It knows how to do a bill of materials that all makes sense. ChatGPT, not so good. It'll do it. It's just it doesn't parse it so well. Anyway, so one day I'm writing some code. Actually, I'm not even writing the code. I'm talking to ChatGPT, and I'm saying, write the code for me. This is the microchip I have. This is what I want to do. So it writes the code. Okay. Now, I asked it. I said, hey, explain to me in very layman terms what's going on here. Now, I already know what's going on, but I want to see like how it's going to understand it. And dude, it took it line by line or section by section, and it said, here's what's going on. This is what I'm doing. And so if you want to learn how to write code, nobody can be the better teacher, or nobody's better than Chat or AI.
Yeah.
Okay. That being said, if you learn it, can you do it better than AI? No,
it's
you can't.
constantly learning.
So yeah, great. To your point that yeah, it's good to learn. Yeah, great, but you're not going to do it better than AI.
No.
So I would say that almost, what would be the point in learning it?
No, you're right. I mean,
Unless you think that one day the internet's going to break and only Jeremy knows how to write C code, man.
I mean, if the internet breaks, then we're in a apocalyptic world, you know.
You're right.
With that being said, I gotta, this is a crazy thought. What if this has already happened? See,
You mean like Matrix already happened?
What if it already? Yeah, exactly. What if this world, or what if we already did this? And the reason I bring this up is because I had some other people, my brother, one of them being, what if humans had already done this and we're repeating the cycle? What do you? Have you ever heard of this? Have you ever heard of this before?
Well, I've seen the Matrix, if that's what you mean.
But you ever heard anybody talk about this?
Sure, yeah.
What do you think about that?
No, I think that, yeah, that's possible, dude. I think that, especially when you consider the expanse of space.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever considered that? How big the universe is?
I can't even fathom how big the universe is. That's what makes it like incredibly interesting,
Yeah.
Because we don't know how big space is.
No.
It's insane. I find it so fascinating because there are other solar systems out there.
Oh, yeah. Let me just tell you, man, there's billions of them.
Yeah.
So look, let me tell you this, dude. This is not something I thought of. That I saw it somewhere. But so the one guy, scientist, was explaining that if you try, our galaxy is the Milky Way galaxy,
Right?
And so if you traverse from one end to the other, and if there was such a thing as being in a spaceship doing the speed of light, and the speed of light is, man, I don't know what it is, just some crazy number, right? Just per second. Thousands of millions of hundreds of thousands of miles per second.
Right.
And if you were able to get on a spaceship and do that and traverse the Milky Way galaxy, it would take you light years, bro. Light years, right? I don't mean 10 years, 15 years in the way we understand time and space. Just light years, hundreds of thousands. And maybe that's an exaggeration. I don't know. But just a shit ton of time. You could never do it. Number one, because there's no such thing as being able to travel at the speed of light. Number two, the universe as we know it, the Milky Way galaxy, is expanding at the speed of light. So if it's traveling at the speed of light, you could never reach the end if you were going at the speed of light.
Right.
Okay. Another thing, that's a humongous galaxy. Number one. The other thing is that I remember watching a show, man, and maybe the History Channel or NASA. I don't remember what it was, but they did this. The whole premise of the show was that they were showing how back in the 80s or 70s, I don't remember when, the Hubble telescope back then, they sent it off, and they did this experiment where the Hubble telescope frequently was looking at one point in space, and as it was going around and around, and just orbiting, it was kept its camera on that one point, and they exposed the film after about 7 days or whatever it was. It was at least 7 days, and when they exposed the film, what you could see, bro, was man, all these galaxies like the Milky Way, and that was mind blowing, because number one, that's what you can see. The camera couldn't get past what it can't see,
Right.
and not because it's not there, but it's just limitations of the hardware. But the real mind blowing thing was that, hold on, that's one point. What about everything else around you? And so our galaxy, man, our universe actually is, man, infinitely. I mean, it's just mind blowing. You just couldn't gather that.
Right.
So going to bring it back to what we were talking about. Yeah, have we lived in one iteration already of our life?
That's
Twice,
crazy. Yeah.
3 times, 4 times?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I mean, I believe in God in the Bible, and the Bible says in the beginning, but that doesn't mean God has exposed everything to you. This is just your life. This is how it happened.
Do you find it fascinating that we haven't discovered other life forms?
Oh, bro, man, you're taking us down a rabbit hole now.
Yeah,
man.
I am.
Okay, so let me tell you, man.
I do find it I think it's fascinating I find it fascinating that they haven't found anything. Or they said that they found, ice and, water, like, but that doesn't equate to life.
You believe everything you hear?
No, I don't believe.
Yeah.
I mean, knowing me, I don't want to believe a lot of shit. But
Well, let me ask you this, man. So if there were aliens, and let me take it a little further. Okay, forget about the microscopic things that you need for life. Because, yeah, technically, those things have been found outside of Earth, right? And so is that alien life? Yeah, I guess if you mean technically that by defining alien life, you mean that there's a life source outside of Earth. Yeah, sure. We've found those things, but
yeah, I'm just saying. I'm saying. I'm talking about elements for life, not alien life.
No, but let's take it further. Let's go alien life.
Yeah.
Let's talk ET.
Yeah.
So, do you think ET alien life is a thing?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's fascinating that we haven't found any of that. Like,
You ever heard of Bob Lazar?
No.
The name?
I don't think so.
So I remember as a kid, man, watching this back in the day. I'm pretty old, dude. So I'm, giving away my age. But
I do want to get to that.
Okay.
Because
well, hold on. Before we go there,
sorry.
let's talk about Bob Lazar.
Yeah, let's do that.
So if you really want to know, Bob Lazar, well, first of all, let me premise it by this. If somebody were talking to me about controls, it wouldn't be I wouldn't take the guy off the street who's drinking a beer, right, and just bombing out on the street as a technical reliable source. But if he's telling me that, now I'm going to listen to you, right? That's a simple thought, right? That there's nothing, there's no gotchas there. That's just simple logic. This guy Bob Lazar, man, who used to work in Nevada, that Area 51 area, all that, spacecraft and whatever. He, in my mind, a reliable source of information. So if somebody like that were to say something about, space aliens, and I mean physical, ET kind of thing, then that would be something that I would take more serious than me and my buddy drinking beer like Jeremy, we were talking shit about aliens or whatever. But he had some real good information, man. I encourage you to go watch that. I do believe the space aliens. I didn't used to think this, but I do now. And part of the reason why is because of once I realized how big the universe was.
Yeah.
I thought, surely, man, it can't just be us.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, dude, Bob Lazar, I'll send you some links later on. Anyway, you're going to talk about age.
I mean, yeah. Well, I touched a little bit about what you just said. Is that they keep bringing this stuff up in the news cycles, or they keep bringing it up in social media. You'll see like, this government, had this here and this is this, and there's. Why do you think, let's say, hypothetically speaking, that the government or whatnot does have aliens, or they had previously had aliens, or whatnot? Why keep it a secret?
Man, there's a lot of good reasons. Number one, if you're a religious person and you believe in God,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you got aliens, what does that mean about God? Now, there's no confusion with me,
Right.
because if real aliens exist, God created them. That's it.
Okay.
So for me, it's simple. But for the people who are on the fence or not sure,
Right.
that could create a panic and a scare,
Yeah.
right?
Because then it would be like. Because then it would be like, if you were made in God's image, and then like, if there was something else that's completely made differently, then you're like, wait a minute,
Right,
hold up.
right. But once again, just so that there's no confusion, if there's aliens, God made them.
Okay.
So for me, there is God, and then everything else below it, including aliens. A lot of people say that aliens, man, the physical ones, if there are such a thing, and I do believe there are, that those are demonic. I don't know, maybe not, but that does not take away from me the fact that if there's such a thing, God made them.
So there is a difference between saying that man is made in God's image. That doesn't necessarily say that if something else was made, just something else was made.
Yes,
Right? Because
Yes, you're right.
because animals were made.
right, but not in God's image.
Right. Man was made in God's image.
Right.
But other things could be made.
It was only talking about man.
Got it. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, dude, but yeah, I do believe that there's stuff out there, man.
I mean, will I ever see it in my lifetime? Like
Well,
true, like,
Well, let me just be the one to tell you this, dude.
nah.
So there was a guy, and I'll send you the link. I'm terrible with names, man. My
No.
apologies, man.
I can't.
But I'll tell you this.
Can't remember nothing.
This guy had said, and other people have confirmed this story, even from before the time that this guy had actually said it. And I don't know when the guy said it, but it was prior to, I don't know, 5 years ago, let's just say. What he said was that there's a big deception coming. And if you've been at the office, when I've been at the office, you've probably heard me say it. He said there's going to be a big deception coming. And the deception is that aliens are here and are coming. And if you've been looking at the internet, looking at social media, you've probably seen some of that. Now, you wouldn't see it on the more traditional, legacy media, like ABC, NBC, CBS. You're not going to see it there. But if you were to search, are the aliens, why is people saying aliens or whatever, you would find that this guy, you would eventually find this guy. And if I can find him, I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Or if your viewers who are listening, man, know, they can send you the link. But what he said was something very interesting. He said that for a very long time, that it's been the government's position to try to fool the people. And why would the government want to fool the people? Well, for many, various reasons. But, and they all culminate to the point that you want control. You want to control the people.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, sure, that'd be one way to control the people. There's other ways to do it, right? The pandemic, what happened there, bro, right? Everybody was in control. You stayed at your house, unless you were one of them employees that were, what did they call them, man? Essential employees, or what does that even mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, you control the people in certain ways, man. And I think that there's an experiment going out that will be coming, and it has to do with aliens. Hey, I'm not crazy, man.
Right. You know what? Honestly, I'm finding it harder and harder and harder to believe anything these days, especially, internet, social media, news. It's getting so hard to believe, because it's like, was this generated? Did somebody doctor this stuff? Like, AI's getting so good. people are posting things and it looks so real, and then you'll read the comments, right? And people are commenting on this, and then next thing you know, there's a comment and say, "Yo, this was faked. This was AI did this." Yeah. So it makes it hard. Now it's like you could almost put something out there that's true, and it just gets labeled as fake.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I think that's done deliberately.
Yeah,
that may be a result of technology and whatever, but I think people who want to use it to their advantage would be able to manipulate that information. And man, there's a whole bunch of drones. I saw this one like a 4th of July display or whatever. It wasn't quite that, but it was a display of these drones that have lights on them. Mm-hmm. What do they call them? The red, blue, green RBG lights. That if you manipulate the output, you can change the color. Right? You know what I'm talking mm-hmm. about. RGB. Anyway. And they can make images in the sky and make it look like you can tell it's not real. But if they can do it now, then imagine what can be done in the future. Anyway, my point is that to your point, yeah, you're right. These things are you can manipulate the masses, man, and ultimately it's all about control. I hate to be that guy that's talking about this kind of thing, man. Like I'm some kind of conspiracy theorist, because I'm not, man. I really ain't.
Yeah.
But it's obvious to see that is capable. And then if you mesh it with some of the biblical language and the verbiage in there about end times and deception and whatever, I could see how somebody could fake Christ coming.
Yeah.
And that maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that's stupid. Yeah. But now we got AI that makes images that look kind of real, and if you're not careful, can sound kind of
not real. Just images.
Yeah.
Videos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah, making Trump sound like he said something that he didn't say, or making anybody sound like say something he didn't say. My bad.
No, you're good. You're good. But so I do want to talk about how long have you been doing controls?
Man, so like we spoke about earlier, I worked with an electrical contractor for many years, and then I don't remember exactly when the timeline was that I got hired on with Siemens, but it was a long time ago, and so I would say that, we're in 2026. I've been probably doing controls for 26 years at least, somewhere around there. It started with the install, and then it became the regular progression. Which is you install the product, you know what the products are, you know what the sensor does, you understand at least basically a basic understanding of what PID loops do and what outputs do and what inputs do and how to mesh them together and write a program that meshes them really nice to give you the output that you're desiring, or at least the engineer of record, the guy who says, hey, this is what I want this system to do. So I've been doing it for that many years, Jeremy, and even now, bro, at 57, I'm not doing, and luckily for me, because if I were doing like terminal unit boxes where you got to set a ladder up and go up to every one of them, I don't know that I'd be still doing this.
Yeah.
Because number one, that's heavy on my feet.
Yeah.
And it gives me backaches too.
Yeah.
The older I get, the more aches and pains that I can feel, and I think that's a natural progression. But so nowadays, man, what really keeps me in the game is, number one, the company I work for, the company you work for.
Yeah,
those are good dudes.
Yeah,
right. The entire team, from management all the way down to the guy, the boots on the ground.
Yeah,
every one of them, all them dudes, Ryan and everybody.
Yeah. I actually want to have Sean on. I haven't asked him yet, but I want to have Sean on.
That'd be a good move. To get that idea from a management and stress level, because man, I used to be in that position where I was the team lead. Yep. and what ends up happening, Jeremy, is that you're not only working the 40 hours that you normally are getting paid for, but you're working the additional hours, because whether the contract you have is $1,000 or $1 million, the person who is the end customer thinks he has, and rightfully so, has the same rights to your time as the guy that only has $1,000 contract. So what does that look like? Well, that means that you're getting phone calls at night on the weekends, and it just never ends. So a lot of respect, man, to our project managers. Right?
Yeah.
So they're you got to be cut from a certain cloth, and apparently I'm not cut from that cloth. And it's just too much for me. And so now for me as a technician, it's just me against the machine.
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with that. And when times get tough, man, and what I mean to say is that, as a 57-year-old, I can still get around and carry all the stuff and do whatever I need to do. And what is the stuff will ladder?
I know. I try not to let you do that too much.
Exactly. You and Eddie, man, you guys are the younger guys. So when you guys are around, I don't have to worry about it because. Not that I'm worried about it.
No, I know you don't.
But if you guys are around,
right? And for me, it's a respect thing. To be honest with you, like I would rather do it as a respect thing, just to show that I do appreciate you still being here and you're doing the work. Because I remember one time I had to tell you, like, Mark, I got it, I'll carry it. And you're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I got it, we'll carry it. Yeah. And then, but you do the things I can't do. Like, the electrical things, you know the pipe, how to bend pipe and all that stuff. And I remember this one time I was working at, I don't know if it was like Luling or whatnot, but anyway, you did all the electrical and the piping, and then you asked me at the end, you say, hey, you got this, you can do startup on the exhaust fan there. I was like, yeah, I got no problem.
Oh yeah.
There's that, and I appreciate that. All I'm saying is I appreciate that. And I try to respect the things that you've already been through. And I want to learn from people like you.
Yeah, hey, well, I'll tell you this, man. Nobody respects that position that you're taking more than Mark. So you and Eddie, the young guys, man, that's cool to know, man. That's out of respect. So in here recently, man, we were in New Braunfels last week, and you and Eddie, man, were getting after it, and I'm just watching you guys work. So, but... No, I do appreciate that, man, and I think that as long as our jobs, we do very custom work, like for that company I was telling you earlier, where it's you have no prints, you have nothing, you just go and figure things out, and I think that to your point, as an older guy, I've had more experiences, and not that I'm smarter because you're a smart dude, you and Eddie. But I've just had more experience. Yeah. So I've got more stuff that I can pull out of my pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And say, yeah, you know what, this electronic stuff, yeah, not a problem. Boom, 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 do this or whatever. That's why I can rip things out real quick, man.
Yeah.
I know, like, from a 1,000-foot perspective that this needs to stay on. This, for instance, the central plant over there at that hospital we're working on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not something you just put the new guy on. So, no. And I'm not trying to beat my own drum. It's just more about the experience. So for me, I look at it as, okay, bam, 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 only because I've been there. So you're actually pretty good at it too. But like somebody like Eddie, who's like more, and I hate to keep bringing his name up, but
I love Eddie.
Yeah, me too. He's a good dude. Anyway, so the guy who's very young, but that guy, in my opinion, man, will be, and no knock on you or anybody else, he will be our next, the go-to guy, the SME, the subject matter expert. But he's got a good heart, got a strong work ethic, man.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, dude, if you get a man who's got a strong work ethic and he is kind of smart, I mean, look at the dude, he don't look that smart. but he's actually pretty smart. Then that's gold. And so, to take it all back, man, I appreciate your position. I really do. Because there's going to be a day. It's not right now.
Right.
Because, I'm still carrying backpacks and whatever. I'm still strong as a mule. But there will be a day, where that time will cease to exist.
Right.
And when that time comes, Jeremy, I don't know that being out in the field is something I want to be doing. I think, it'll be a conversation with the company.
Yeah.
And the company being gold as it is, man, they'll find a position for
I think
me,
so
whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, at the office.
Gives you that drive every day to get up.
Well, number one, I'm a self-motivator, self-starter. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. I make my own schedule, right? And probably like you do too. So I'm just aware of the what makes me click. And so at the end of the day, and to touch on what we already talked about, when AI comes, and we talked about how like a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs, and if you're that dude who's built like me, that needs to feel accomplished, and needs to be able to look at the end of the day and turn back around and say, "Oh yeah, I see the progress." Well, then it's that thing in me. It's just in me that makes me get up and makes me. So it's not even a thing that's a challenge for me. I look forward to getting up in the morning. I look forward to what potential victories, and even the defeats, bro. I'm okay with that. And once again, I believe in God. So before I even walk outside the door,
Mm-hmm.
I get up, and before I open that door, there's a couple things I do on the daily, and it's this: God, thank you for letting me get up. I am grateful. I come to you in gratitude and thankfulness. I got a straight mind. My body is working. I'm ready to go. Jesus, thank you for the opportunities that you set for me today. And then I thank God for all the people in my life, my family, my friends. And it's just not just a global, oh yeah, bless the entire world. No,
Right.
it's the name.
Yeah.
And I call the name. And even people, man, who have maybe not been so pleasant to me, right? Because that, in my mind, dude, if you're not blessing the people who are not on your side so much, then in my mind, you're not so much on the right side of God or Christianity. Either way, I digress. So I get up, man, because it's inherent in me to
Right.
get up. I don't need a reason to get up. It just is. I just appreciate the day.
Yeah. I would say what you just said is like you would have a strong mental aptitude toward life, and by speaking to God, or it helps you to be able to get through, or not say get through, but it helps you like have that strong mentality towards your day.
Yeah. I mean, let me ask you this, man. If you know you got $1 million in your bank account, then when you go to the bank and say, give me a couple $100, you go in confidence.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know the money's there.
Yeah.
When I start my day, I start in confidence. Because I know no matter whether I think it went good or bad, God's on my side. And so I don't need good results.
Yeah.
All I really need is to know God's on my side, and God is on your side. So therein lies in my opinion, which would be the secret to life, that you don't rely on yourself, don't rely on the condition, the position, whatever happened, the result. None of that matters, man. Not to me.
Yeah.
Because even if I were to get, hey, Mark, come to our office, got to let you go. Let's just say that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'd be thinking, bro? Thank you, Lord, for the time that I've been employed here.
Yeah.
I've been able to, this company has put food on my table and put clothes on my back and my kids all these years.
What I was going to say is like your ability to do that every day is probably not only mental, but also the stress level. It probably lowers your stress level because you have such a strong belief and faith in something that's got you mentally prepared for your life.
I don't know how else it could work, bro.
Right.
Yes, you're right, man. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, you're right.
I mean, it's a good thing that you say that. I think a lot of people will draw a lot of strength from that. And is there ever been a time in your life before you did this, and then so say before you did this, and then you started doing this, and you can see a huge difference? Do you remember a time in your life before you did this?
When you say before you did this,
I'm saying before, because you say you get up every day and you thank God for the ability to be up.
Uh-huh.
Was there a time in your life that you didn't do this?
Yeah, brother. there was a time in my life where I just thought life wasn't worth living.
Yeah, that's right. You did say that.
Of course. Yeah. So
and what I was gonna say is like people that find themselves in that position before. What would you say to them?
So let me tell you something, man. I have a lot of opportunity, just like you, to talk to a lot of people on the daily.
Right.
So one of the things that I'm not going to say passionate about, but one of the things that I deliberately do is I talk to the young men. I'm just curious to see how they're doing and what they're into. And, hey, you married? You got kids, that kind of thing. And then ultimately, what ends up happening, man, is that because people know that you're being genuine, and I really am being genuine because I really do want to know. I'm not just trying to probe for information. That will inevitably come up and, I'm struggling here or there or wherever.
Yeah. And
so I feel that it's my duty, number one, as a man, and number two, as a man who knows God, to give them some encouraging words.
Yeah.
So I know that a lot of people are going through things. And because I know they're going through things, and like I told you earlier, except for the fact that I had a mentor come into my life, then I probably would have been thinking something different. Remember when I told you that?
Yeah.
Okay. It's up to us, Jeremy, as men. You're an older man. And it's up to us, man, to help the young people, to let them know, hey, number one, this is the one thing I always talk about, God. Everyone, you believe in God? And I try to encourage them in that.
Yeah.
Okay, because even though you know God, like I told you earlier, it's not until you really start to believe that, yes, I know God. Well, Satan knows God. But what does that matter, right? It's not that you know God. It's that you execute the commands of God. What does God want from you? That's really the question. And so I try to help young men in that regard, to try to help them, because it's incumbent on me to do that. The other thing I talk about, now this I'm passionate about, is AI, technology. I love talking about that. I'll talk about that for hours, man. Anyway, so I tell them, and I'm just curious to know, like, so, what are you going to be doing, man, the next, 5-10 years? Do you always want to do this or whatever? I'm just curious and, and just giving it free advice, man. And for those who don't want to take it, I don't give it. And you can tell right away who wants to talk about things and who doesn't. But for those who do, yeah, man, it's my job, man. Like Eddie says, oh, man, hey, Theo, he calls me uncle. It's that uncle mentality, man. It's always wanting the best for your family.
Yeah.
Even if you're not my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say I appreciate your time and coming here. I know it's not easy to get over here and take up, valuable time.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. When you invited me, man, going back to kind of what we just said, it's my job to help people I know, my friends, and I consider you my friend. So, I'm here to help out in any kind of capacity. So, it's all good, bro. I was only painting my walls anyway, so. And I've been doing that for the last few weeks, so I'm just dragging my feet. Man, you want to play golf? Yeah, let's go. You want to go out? Let's go. And painting takes the back seat, so it's all good.
Well, again, I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Well, is there anything else you want to add to, or whatnot? You feel like we covered a lot. I think.
Bro, I could talk all day, man.
Yeah.
And I appreciate the beers. Those are pretty nice. So it's easier to talk when you got a beverage in your hand. At least for me, it is. So hopefully somebody will take something good out of this, man.
I think they will.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think they will. And next time, I'm gonna have you and Eddie on.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, no, that'd be a good one.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man.
We gotta have you and Eddie together.
Yeah,
all three of us.
Yeah, no, that'd be good. Make sure you have enough beer. For sure.
This would be great. Well, I appreciate it. And then for everyone else, no matter what you're going through in life, no matter how you feel like life is going wrong, drink water, drive on.
I know.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure.
So kid, Woke up tired. Woke up tired, still I gotta get it. Same routine, but I'm staying committed. World feel heavy and it's weighing on my chest, but I learned real early, ain't no time to rest. Bills stack up, pressure don't fold. Tryna stay solid while the world turns cold. Smiles on faces, but you don't know the pain. Everybody fighting, just don't show the strength. Some days it feel like nothing's changing. Still I move, no hesitating. Even when the road feel long, I remind myself, just drive on. Been through the pressure, still standing strong. Life gets heavy, but we keep moving on. Came from the struggle, we built it alone. No matter the weight, we carry it on. Drink water, drive on. Long days, late nights, still pushing through. Doubting myself, but I stick to the truth. Ain't where I want, but I'm not where I was. Every step forward, yeah, it still count as love. Like some people had to learn and grow. Some bridges burned just to light your road. Hard times came, I ain't fold, I adapted. Turned all the pressure into something I crafted.
All crazy.